Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's good when you have two Saraukians on stage. I like the topic because of the question mark. It's not a statement, but it's a question mark. Let me begin by, first of all, introduce the house that we're trying to transform and get to, that the Prime Minister put forward for us. We want to transform the nation. And this is, if you like, slide please. So this roof is the One Malaysia roof, that we all are united. Most people remember One Malaysia. They remember perhaps the people first. The one that people always forget. I know there was a very senior civil servant that stood in a very big forum like this. He said, One Malaysia, people first, performance later. The word now, people forget about the urgency, setting things to move. So that was what the Prime Minister put forward for us to transform, that we cannot be united and cannot win until and unless we are united. We got a new manager in Chelsea, so I'm very happy. So then we introduced then the government transformation program to make sure that we change the way that the government operates to focus on those areas that the Rakyat truly want to be put on the pedestal. Then the second thing that was introduced by the Prime Minister is the economic transformation program, that we transform our economy so that we all become rich, all of us, for a long, long time. So that is the notion behind the new economic model. The 10 Malaysia plan ensures that the money is put where it's relevant. Let me start by defining the term quality of life. You know, the term quality of life is one of those words that is always confused. People don't really know what it stands for. I was looking through, you know, the internet to see what are some of the definitions. The Economist Intelligence Unit produced a full list of ranking of countries. And in that list, and we in Malaysia, I think, ranked number 68 or something like that. If you go next slide, please. This is the Economist Intelligence Unit. With number 36. Early on, move to the earlier. This number 36. Number 1 is Ireland. According to them, Ireland is number 1. That's the best place on earth, close to heaven. And second to that is Switzerland and Norway. Down the list is ourselves. Actually, Singapore is slightly better than us. Thailand is not as good as us. And Philippines, not so good. China is not so good, and below. I've just put those countries that are close to home. But to them, what constitute quality of life are those things on the left. Material well-being, defined as GDP per person in US dollars. You have health, political stability, security, family life, community life, climate and geography, job security, political freedom, and gender equality. That's some of the variables that are being used. Take another census. This is done by the Living International. Next slide, please. So in this slide, the next slide, it says that actually Malaysia is better than Singapore. Singapore is not as good as Malaysia. See number 63. The best place on earth, according to this living, the international living, is the US. They're close to heaven, followed by New Zealand. And then Malta. Malta is really good, according to them. We are number 63, followed by Thailand. Singapore, not so good. Indonesia, number 81, and then Philippines, number 92. And these are the things that are, according to them, quality of life, constitute cost of living, leisure and culture, economy, environment, freedom, health, infrastructure, risk, and climate. I can go on with many, many such comparisons. If you want to know, go and look at the Mercer's report. They rank all the cities in the world and which are the best cities, and there are many, many variables. Whatever you do, and it depends on how you view them, okay? So when we look at this, the Prime Minister asked a lot of questions. By the time I was still in Malaysia Airlines, I have been invited to join the cabinet for 5 cabinet workshops from April 2009 right up to September 2009 to participate in discussions with the cabinet. I was still in MAS at the time. That was then a search for what is it we think the Rakyat truly want. Because the Prime Minister said, let's not rush into the government transformation until and unless we're very sure what do the Rakyat truly want us to do. After all, people first. Next. So we had a look at the public perception survey that was conducted in September 2008. The ones on the tick is what the Rakyat truly want us to focus on crime, education, corruption, unity, and economy. We had a look at all the articles in the newspapers. It's called media analysis. From January right up to May 2009, every article, everything that came out in the newspapers and also in television, analyzed them. That analysis showed the things that matter to the Malaysians are crime, education, corruption, economy, transport, and energy. There was also a polls done by the Merdeka Center, the Merdeka polls we call them, in June 2009. The Malaysian public want those things to be worked on. The cabinet themselves, having looked at it in the interaction with the public, they then concluded they did a cabinet polls. So that was the cabinet, or our own cabinet, looking at what they felt were the ones that were on the pedestal. So having now done that, 6 months of thinking this thing through and debating it, we then concluded and arrived at the 6 national key results areas. Because this is what we felt the Malaysia public want us to focus on. So we didn't rush to do anything until we knew these were the ones on the pedestal that the Malaysian public want us to transform. Then we wrote the book. We ran the labs, we put people inside the room, and we got public to come and find solutions for all of those stuff. Then we wrote the very thick book, 261 pages for the avid readers, very hardworking Malaysian. If you are lazy, we got one for you. That's 37 pages. If you're very lazy, we have a pictorial description that's 20 pages. If you're absolutely lazy and you don't even to read a word, 6-minute video. You got no choice. You have no excuse for not knowing what is it that we're trying to do under the GTP. It's very, very clear. Let me talk about the results. What have we collectively in Malaysia achieved on all of those 6 things that we say concern us in Malaysia? One by one, I'm going to take it through the highlights. If you want to know more about what I'm telling you, we have written a book, 250 pages, results and results and results and results. Nothing else but results. It's all on the PEMANDU website. Please go there, print it, and read it to sleep. Because that's the #1 soporific.